Let's watch Cenk and Wajahat on a Piers Morgan panel talking about Trump and MAGA, including some recent Biden comments that has everyone up in a stir as well. So I've lined these up, and as always, we'll knock them out one by one.
Are you really pretending to be offended after you've supported Donald Trump, who has said everything in the world about left-wing voters, radical left lunatics? Hey, here we go again. No interruptions. He's called them radical left lunatics, Marxist, communist, fascist. He said that we should use the military to attack the enemy from within. And then you're pretending that all of a sudden you caught feelings?
Not pretending.
MAGA, do better than that. You're being ridiculous and you know it. Now you're snowflakes.
There's so many points of hypocrisy to touch on in this, that being Biden calling the comedian at Trump's rally garbage, MAGA now trying to pretend that he's calling all of them garbage. And the first bit of hypocrisy comes right there in that statement. Trump gets caught saying something like suckers and losers about fallen vets, or showing off classified documents that he stole on an audio tape. And when he denies it or says he's taken out of context, MAGA says, well, that's enough for me. We believe it. Couldn't have possibly said it. Biden, however, then says something and clarifies what he means when he's taken out of context, like the second he is. And it's no, he's lying. We know exactly what he meant because he said it the first time, despite the fact that they'll simultaneously pretend that he has dementia when it benefits them too. So it's like, pick a side, does he make sense or does he not know what he's talking about? And the second is pretty obvious, right? Cheering on Trump as he calls Democrats criminals, fascists, communists, Marxists, calls them any name in the book that he can think of, mocks Paul Pelosi when he's attacked, uses language like the enemy within, lock her up. But now they want to pretend to be offended and the victim in this circumstance. I mean, it's laughably pathetic.
This is me playing the world's smallest violin for all the fake outrage of MAGA and Trump supporters, who I believe are the most fickle, brittle, weak people on earth, who can dispense cruelty and demand civility, who hate safe spaces for everyone, want safe spaces for themselves, and who, by the way, with this hypocritical fake outrage, the reason why I don't think most people will care is because people know what Trump is for the past 9 years. And just yesterday, Donald Trump, who is running for president, Joe Biden is not, and Joe Biden, he's 81 years old, he has a stutter, and by the way, I appreciate the context that he gave. I don't think he needed to, but he did. Donald Trump yesterday, final pitch to the country. You know what he called America? A garbage can. Donald Trump said all of us, 340 million Americans, live in a garbage can. Yes, he did. Yesterday in his speech, he said America is a garbage can. Yesterday, Donald Trump said Democrats, who are the majority, are sick and evil people.
And that's exactly right. The level of gullible or bought into the cult that you have to be to still buy the Victim Act by MAGA is far from where most voters in the middle are. Trump divides this country, constantly slams the other side, constantly uses incendiary rhetoric, and then any chance that Republicans can get a soundbite of Dems and pretend to be victimized in this country, they take it. It's the weirdest bully act there is, and the only way to stop it is at the ballot box.
In the final 2 weeks of his campaign to unify America, you know what Donald Trump said? That the people who are against him are enemy of the people, another Hitler line, and he said he would unleash the military and the National Guard against U.S. citizens. Against immigrants and migrants, he said he will invoke the Alien Sedition Act that in turn Japanese Americans. This is the same man who ran against the same man who promoted a neo-Nazi conspiracy about Haitian immigrants eating pets, even after he was told it was a lie. The Wall Street Journal, funded by Murdoch, not a left-wing rag, a right-wing outlet, reported that him and Vance were told it was a lie. He still said it, which has caused stochastic terrorism in Springfield, Ohio. So this is Donald Trump. The majority of people don't care. The majority of people know Biden apologized.
Trump is someone who single-handedly invokes hatred and violence onto any marginalized group that he can get away with doing so. It was the Muslims, the Haitians, women, immigrants writ large. It's just the cycle of fascism to want to oppress, and he's fighting his hardest to remain in power so he can continue to do so. It's deplorable what he gets to get away with, right? With how he talks about Democrats, about soldiers, about countries, about groups of people. It should be morally disqualified. And I think it's equally telling and disappointing that so many in our country are just willing to buy into this. I think it's the greatest study that one can show on if bigotry and racism still exists in our country, because clearly it does.